Test 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Red Bull Ring for the Italian F4 Championship, powered by Abarth. We're about to get underway with race 1 here this weekend. Okay. Welcome to the Red Bull Ring for...
Sei venuto dall'Italia col motorino? Non è arrivato?
Ma che becco Valentino Uzzi, spacco le mani, c'è una finestra davanti. Guarda, 901 proprio.
Ma è chiusa la finestra.
Grazie.
Non la puoi aprire.
No, si apre.
No, non si può aprire.
Facciamo aprirla, facciamo aprire.
Il problema sai qual è? È che ci hanno messo quel gabbiotto a fianco. E che là doveva andare?
Il nostro punto non c'è più.
Yes, we are back after the summer break here at the most picturesque circuit in the world. This is the track that has hosted Formula One 4 times in the last 12 months. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the fabulous Red Bull Ring here in Austria for round 5 of the world's most competitive junior motor racing series. This is the Italian F4 Championship powered by Abarth, presented to you by WSK Promotion. Another fantastic field, 32 cars on the grid. Sebastian Montoya has taken pole position for race 1. We'll hear from the Colombian American in just a moment. In fact, let's go down to Sebastian on the grid with Antonio now.
Yes, from the pole position with Sebastian Montoya, what are the expectations for this race?
Nothing really, just the speed's been good all week. The team's done an amazing job all season, and yeah, just enjoy the race.
Thank you so much and good luck.
Sebastian Montoya took pole position in qualifying this morning. Alongside him is the championship leader, Ollie Bierman. As the teams get ready to leave the grid, they're doing that now. This is the first of 3 races here this weekend. 30 minutes plus 1 lap. Another fantastic field here in the Austrian sunshine at the circuit built by the most famous energy drink in the world. This is the Red Bull Ring. As we say, it has hosted a Formula One Grand Prix 4 times in the last 12 months. Mighty Max taking victory twice here just a few weeks ago with the Austrian Grand Prix and then the Styrian Grand Prix a week later, or maybe vice versa. As we look at the grid for you, Sebastian on pole, the championship leader, Ollie Bierman out of grid 2, Tim Tramnitz for US Racing out of 3, Nikita Betrin and Kirill Small, the ruthless racing Russians, and Josh Dufek for Van Amersfoort Racing. Then we go to another Josh, it's Dirksen, the Paraguayan ahead of Leonardo Fornaroli, who will start from pole for race 2. Francesco Simonazzi, Kimi Andrea Antonelli on debut. This is his first ever car race. Grid 10 for the Prema Power team. Eric Zuniga, Benz for Lindt, and then we go to Kasper Stuka, Lorenzo Patrese, Francesco Braschi, Konrad Lausen, Piotr Wisnicki, Santiago Ramos. Another Mexican driver. He starts out of grid 18 for Jensen Motorsport, who are based not too far away from here. They are a Swiss team. We are in Austria. It's the Italian Championship. Maya Werk, then it's Samir Ben, Pedro Perino, now with US Racing, Hamda Al-Khabaisi from the Emirates, Giorgio Marcogiannis from Greece, Charlie Wirtz, the Austrian, here in Austria out of 24, Levente Revesh, Leonardo Bizzotto, San Juan, Aaron Riccieppi, Nico Baptiste, the Colombian, Jonas Reed, disappointed with 30th this morning. Here's the German driver. And the final row of the grid is Pietro Armani for Team Iron Links and Jorge Garciace. So we set off on the formation lap. Perfect conditions here this morning. Look at the field. What a tremendous sight this is. The green flag flies. Sebastian leads the field up the hill for the first time. We are 600 metres above sea level. That's at the start. And almost 700 at the top of the hill where they are approaching now. This is the Lauda curve. There's Pedro Perino going through car 77. Now with the US Racing team, the Haas Racing team, who have qualified 3rd with Tim Tramnitz. Tim also will start from pole position for race 3 tomorrow afternoon, just over 24 hours from now. Sebastian Montoya looking good. He sits 3rd in the championship. He sits pole on the grid. The first of our 3 races here this weekend. Maya, we're going through. There's Pedro Perino, Hamda Al-Khabaisi, just behind Levente Revesh. Car 2, Charlie Wirtz, the English-Austrian from Monte Carlo. This is as close as we'll get to his home circuit. Well, I suppose we do race at Paul Ricard, just not too far from Monaco, but he is an Austrian by virtue of his father and his English mother, Julia. They're watching on. Not a good run in qualifying this morning for Charlie in car 2 for the Bremer Power team. It is only his 2nd race. We must remember that in the Italian F4 Championship. Took a podium, making his grandfather proud in the Austrian Rallycross Championship. And also his older brother, Felix, who's also quite an experienced rallycross racer as well. Pleased with his younger brother's efforts. But he's got a big job here this morning as you look at Leonardo Fornaroli, 2nd in the championship, 8th on the grid. He starts pole position for race 2 later this afternoon. Sebastian Montoya on pole position, car 6, for the almighty Prema Power team, who took the championship 12 months ago with Il Siciliano Gabriele Mini. In 2021, well, the driver to Sebastian's right, to your left, Ollie Bierman, he has got a 97-point lead over the rest of the field in car 87. His name is Ollie Bierman. He's driving for the Van Amersfoort Racing Team, who are here with a 5-car attack. The team of Frits van Amersfoort from the outskirts of Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Ollie Bierman looking to emulate Dennis Hauger, who took the title for the Dutch team in 2019. Rick Cassius, he's an engineer on that occasion for Dennis, and this year he's doing the same job for Ollie Bierman out of grid 2. There's Angelo Rossin to the right of your screen, the Prema Power team watching on from pit lane. The VAR cars to the left of your screen. Khalid Al-Khabaisi, we welcome the multiple Le Mans 24-hour and Dubai 24-hour winner. His girl, Hamda Al-Khabaisi, starting out of grid 2. Welcome to the Red Bull Ring here in Austria. After the summer break, we are ready to race round 5 of the Italian F4 Championship. We race. Perfect start from Montoya from pole position. Ollie Bierman and Tim Trumnitz go side by side into the louder curve 1. Bierman holds off Trumnitz as 32 junior open wheelers race up the hill for the first time. A relatively clean start. And just as we say that, Eric Zaniga runs very wide at the exit of the louder curve 1. In fact, that was Jonas Reed, so a disastrous start for the German. After not the best run in qualifying as Ollie Bierman locks the brake going up the hill. Sebastian runs wide, runs off the circuit, does the pole sitter. Montoya loses the lead as they race down the hill. It is Trumnitz and Ollie Bierman side by side down into the Roush curve. The championship leader on the inside. Ollie Bierman from the outside of the front row of the grid drives by Montoya, drives by Trumnitz, and the championship leader for Van Amersfoort Racing goes position 1. Montoya will be absolutely livid with himself as Kirill Small on the inside of his countrymen, the 2 ruthless racing Russians, Nikita Bedrin and Karusha. Goes side by side. Just behind them is Josh Dirks and Josh Dufek. Leonardo Fornaroli for Team Iron Lynx. What a start for Ollie Bierman. Takes the lead from Trumnitz and also Sebastian Montoya. Bedrin goes by and takes Kirill Small. Better run from the Russian Kirill Small after a forgettable, the worst weekend of his career as one of the Grand Motorsport cars. Goes around in the background. Side by side, they're 2, they're 3, they're 4 wide going down the straight. We are looking for Andrea Kimi Antonelli in car 99. So much expected of the Mercedes Junior. He slides wide at the louder curve into the barriers. And going around is Pedro Perino, the Mozambique driver, absolutely furious. He punches the steering wheel. There is a local yellow flag only at the start of a hectic race 1 here in Austria. Bierman with the race lead. Fornaroli runs off the road, does the Italian as the safety car gives us a chance to take a breath on the second lap of the race. What a start here in Austria. Wow, banked into the gravel. Here's Nico Baptiste. The Colombian's race is over. So Bierman with the race lead from Tim Trumnitz. There is Sebastian Montoya in P3. And also involved in that was Leonardo Bizzotto for BVM Racing. He steps out of the car. Nico Baptiste will do likewise. We started with 32 drivers and we're down to 30 at the moment. Baptiste, Bizzotto are out. Pedro Perino, he was able to continue on. One of the cramp competition, that is Baptiste in fact going around in the gravel. We saw that in the background. The right foot absolutely flat for the Pirelli tyres there in the gravel. The Colombian is going nowhere. Baptiste is out. So Leo Fornaroli, it looks like, has come together with Pedro Perino. No, that's Bizzotto. In fact, it may have been Aaron Reed. Chevy, forgive me, there's so much happening in the opening stages of this race. Aaron Redshappy for BVM Motorsport in car 52. Loses the front ring, the front wing. And we may well see him pull down into pit lane if he can make it back at the end of this lap. So there is the order at the left of your screen. What a start here in Austria. Biermann, Tramnitz, Montoya. The two Russians, 4 and 5, Bedran, Small. Then Joshua leads Joshua. Dirksen from Dufek. Fornaroli, Francesco Simonazzi and Eric Zuniga. The Mexican in position 10, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. His first ever car race, car 99 for the Bremer Power Team going through there. He's in 11th place. He was consistently in the top 10 yesterday, first practice. Here at the Red Bull Ring, position 5 yesterday morning. Of course, 1 week ago, as we take a look at the replay of the start, perfect jump off the line from Montoya. Biermann goes to his left. Tramnitz says, no problem, I'll go to your right. Tramnitz down the inside, almost took the championship leader. Biermann into second place. Montoya was in the lead. Contact further back in the pack for Jonas Reed. From the start, the green flag at the back of the pack. Montoya, a perfect launch. Led the field down into turn 1, the Lauder curve 1. But would run wide at the top of the hill and lose the lead. He's in third position. There's Jonas Reed going wide. Thankfully for him, once upon a time, that asphalt runoff area used to be gravel. It's not at the moment. That allows him to continue on, although he is way down the field. In fact, in last position, 29th at the moment. We have lost Pedro Perino. He was not able to restart. Bizzotto and Baptiste. As the safety car leads the field across the line. So Ollie Biermann is the championship leader. He is the race leader as well. We are trying to do, or we were trying to do some mathematics earlier in the week as you look at Pedro Perino, the driver from Mozambique in the very south of Africa. Although, to be more exact, he does spend a lot of his time in Portugal. New team, new start this weekend with US Racing, but it hasn't gone so well out of the first corner at the Lauder curve. Ollie Biermann, the championship leader. We were trying to do mathematics yesterday. Can he put the title out of reach mathematically for every other driver in the field? Well, he would need to win every race this weekend, and he's got a perfect start at the moment. And Leonardo Fornaroli, who is second in the championship, would need to win all 3 as well. And even then, he almost would do it, but not quite. Still, he has got one hand on the championship trophy. Ollie Biermann is checking the points for you while we're under safety car conditions. Ollie Biermann, 222 points. Leonardo Fornaroli, second in the series. 97 behind for Team Iron Lynx on 125. Sebastian Montoya, third in the race at the moment. He's third in the championship on 118 points. Tim Tramnitz, fourth in the championship on 116 points. And Kirill Small, despite a disaster last time out at Imola, he is 5th in the championship on 90 points. A better run for Kirill at the moment. Position 5, car 7 in both the race and the championship as well. Behind him, Josh, Dirksen and Dufek. As the safety car pulls in this lap. The end of the 4th, and we race green once again. So Nico Baptiste, Leonardo Bizzotto and Pedro Perino are out. Biermann, the championship leader, is the race leader. The safety car pulls into pit lane. And the restart is go. Tramnitz tries to stay with him, and we'll see if Montoya can recover as Biermann runs very wide. He's lost some temperature in the Pirelli tyres. Holds on to it just. He knows that was a slight error because he immediately goes to his right to try and break the toe to Tramnitz right behind. Kirill Small does likewise. Josh Dirksen right behind the Russians as Biermann leads them up the hill for the first time after the restart. There's Eric Zuniga going through ahead of Antonelli, Braski, Patrese. Good start by Konrad Larsen. He's up into 14th ahead of Benz Valent. Ramos, Wisniewski, Kasper Stuka, Samir Band. And Maya works, she rounds out the 20 for the Iron Dames racing team. Side by side go the two Russians. Kirill, nicely done. Small into 4th place. Bedrin, his countryman, sits in behind. He's the top rookie. And he's now being hounded by Josh Turkson, who earlier on in the season made his debut in the Euro Formula Open F3 Championship, a 3-time winner in the Italian F4 Championship. Josh Turkson, car 10 for the Muka Motorsport team. He's gone by Bedrin as well. And now Josh Dufek tries to line up his teammates as their teammate. Ollie Bierman continues to lead. Look at the sideways moment there for the car further back in the pack. Francesco Simonazzi, car 9 for BVM Racing. Head over Ericsson, there goes. So Bierman has a slight moment on turn in. He had to correct there, did Tim Trumnitz. Ahead of Montoya, there's the Van Amersfoort racing cars. Off Bedrin and Dufek in 6 and 7. The freight train races down the straight. 1/3 race distance. Gets the toe look further back in the background. Antonelli coming under attack from Francesco Braschi, and just ahead they go side by side up the hill. Running off the circuit, running very wide, and now slowly. For Muka Motorsport, we'll try and pick that up for you in a moment as the two Van Amersfoort racing cars go side by side. Kirill Small, what a drive from the Russian, he's catching them. That was Josh Turkson running wide, and we've lost the front wing. It looks as though that's Nikita Bedrin. Either him or Josh Dufek, they'll drop down the order, the identically livery cars. Keeping one eye on the timing screen because either Josh or Nikita will lose a ton of time. There's Lorenzo Petresi, he goes through. As Andrea Kimiantonelli gets the warning flag. Petresi with a nice run. Antonelli behind, locks the brake. The two Italians go side by side. That's going to be a real hazard now for Nikita Bedrin as he drops down the order. Josh Dufek does escape. Bedrin, possibly the unluckiest driver, loses the front wing. He'll dive down into pit lane. And we can see the Van Amersfoort racing team. They are preparing to put a new wing on the 15 car of the Russian, who inherited the race victory in race 3 at Imola after the exclusion of Ollie Bierman before the summer break. Ollie, though, continues to lead both the race and the championship. Fabulous drive from Kirill Small. His countryman, Nikita Bedrin, down in pit lane for a new front wing. So Small closes up on the back of his teammate Sebastian Montoya, who started from pole position. He's in 3rd place. Kirill Small behind this battle. Josh Dufek, Leonardo Fornaroli for Team Iron Links behind is Simonazzi, Zuniga, Andrea Kimiantonelli, Petresi, Braschi, the 3 Italians running together. And Conrad Lawson just behind is Kirill Small. He looks good this morning. The Prema Power Team drivers run 3 and 4. The pole sitter in 3rd place. And Kirill, a disaster at Imola. And he's quick this morning. Sebastian Montoya started from pole position. Will be absolutely furious. He can see a potential victory slipping away. As Ollie Bierman, a perfect drive. Tim Trumnitz in 2nd place. This is Kirill Small on your screen. Josh Dufek under attack from Leo Fornaroli. He took pole position in qualifying 2. Will start on pole for race 2 tomorrow morning at 20 minutes past 10 local time for Team Iron Links. He's 2nd in the championship. And now the race starts to settle down. So Bierman in position 1. There's Small, races up the hill. As Lorenzo Petresi is having a good run. He's got Braschi, Antonelli right behind. And it's Lawson, Wisniewski, Benz Valent, Santiago Ramos, Kasper Stuka, Samir Ben Mayaweg, and Hunter Alcobasi side by side. Go the 2 Italians, make that 3 wide almost. The 3 Italians. Antonelli up the inside in car 99. On debut, will he go through? And take the place. In fact, that's Antonelli ahead. Apologies, that's Conrad Lawson. Lawson, the Great Dane in car 20 around the outside of Brasky. Patrese holds off the driver from Copenhagen in car 20 for the Prema Power Team for the moment. Behind them is Piotr Wisnicki, that's the pole in car 24. Patrese dives down the inside to try and take the place. Fantastic racing, the Italian F4 Championship, powered by Abarth, presented by WSK Promotion. The 2021 Championship, this is round 5 of 7. Ollie Bierman continues to lead a hectic weekend opener. Patrese on your screen. And Brasky runs very wide. That's Lawson behind, so Antonelli in position 9 in car 99. The Mercedes protege, personally managed by Toto himself. Patrese smashes the ripple strip at the exit of Lauder Curves. The Lauder Curve, as Benz Verlint gets sideways on the exit. There's Patrese going through. Brasky, Lawson, we go back to Wisnicki, Benz Verlint, Santiago Ramos. Kasper Stuka, Samir Ben, and Maya Weg is ahead of Hunter Alcabasi, Levente Revesh. The second AKM Motorsport entry rounds out the 20. And now Tim tries to chase down the race leader, Ollie Bierman. Lorenzo Patrese checks his mirrors. Right behind him is Francesco Braschi. Then it's Conrad Lawson. Still can't find a way by. We go back to Wisnicki for Jensen Motorsport. Benz Verlinde, Santiago Ramos, also for Jensen Motorsport. Benz Verlinde for Van Amersfoort Racing, whose teammate is continuing to lead 0.6 of a second. Ahead of Tim Tramnitz. Remember, he just set the fastest lap of the race just a few moments ago, an average speed of 170 kilometers an hour here at the Red Bull Ring. Benz Verlinde, position 14, Santiago Ramos behind. And it's Kasper Stuka. Samir Ben will get a glimpse of Maya Weg and Hamza Alcabasi in just a moment. Back to the pack. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is Bierman, Tramnitz, Montoya and Kirill Small. Montoya third in the championship, third in the race. Kirill Small fifth in the championship, fourth in the race, P1 in the race, P1 in the series. It's Ollie Bierman. The gap has come down to 0.4 of a second. Go back to Josh Dufek and Leonardo Fornaroli. We've got a glimpse of the Austrian Swiss driver, Josh, ahead of the Italian, having their own private battle out front. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bierman, Tramnitz, Montoya and Kirill Small. Goes in very deep under brakes. Does Tim Tramnitz. We'll start on pole position for race 3 tomorrow afternoon. Wants the victory. He started the 2021 championship in superb fashion, taking victories at the Paul Ricard circuit in the south of France. Ollie Bierman driving perfectly, car 87. No mistake from the English driver at the moment. Great to see Kirill having a great run. He had more incidents than, well, name your own cliche, did Kirill at Imola last time out. He described it as the worst weekend of his racing career, which includes a long and esteemed career in international kart racing. On the podium multiple times in WSK international karting over the past half decade or so. Second year in the Italian F4 Championship for Kirill. Imola one to forget. A good recovery from Kirusha in P4 as Montoya closes up on the back of Tramnitz. Kirill tries to get the toe as they race up the hill on this lap 11 of race 1 here this weekend. Tramnitz goes defensive. Montoya tries the outside. IndyCar style tactics from the Colombian American. I wonder who taught him that. Puts the 2 right Pirelli tyres into the grass. Tim Tramnitz in enormous trouble now. Montoya, he won't take the victory unless he can get by firstly Tramnitz and then reel in Bierman, the race leader, as well. Kirill Small watches on from B4, senses his opportunity to get up onto the podium. The gap was down to 0.4 of a second between Bierman and Tramnitz. It's almost 1 second as Montoya dives down the inside and almost takes second place away from the German driver. Small sits there in P4. We go back to Josh Dufek as Lorenzo Patrese sideways, airborne on the exit of turn 1. He's still in position 10. Watch this, Trumnitz just drove to the right side. Montoya does not lift. Puts the right side of the car into the grass. They're 3 wide further back in the pack. Fornaroli in that battle with Simonazzi and Eric Zuniga as well. The Mexican now into position 8. The gap was 0.4 of a second between Bierman and Trumnitz. It is now 1.1 seconds. Bierman, Trumnitz, Montoya, Small and Josh Dufek and Leo Fornaroli are now catching the leaders. Sebastian Montoya has set the fastest lap of the race just a few moments ago. A 1:31 dead, almost into the 1:30s. An average speed of around about 180 miles an hour for our friends watching on live in the United States, the United Kingdom, and about 13 other countries that refuse to embrace the metric system. That's 170 kilometres an hour for Sebastian Montoya. Wants second place, even if a victory will elude him here this morning. Fornaroli runs off the track, almost throws away any hope, as faint as it might be, of taking the championship away from Ollie Bierman. He needs to win this race. He needs a disaster for the English driver. It's not happening for the Iron Lynx team driver. Team manager Andrea Piccini for Team Iron Lynx. Watching on from pit lane, of course, Andrea highly experienced. Mainly as a GT racer, former winner of the Spa 24-hour race, international Formula 3000 driver. GT1 over a decade ago. Still gets behind the wheel occasionally, but more often than not, we see him behind the pit wall. And he's watching Fornaroli in P6 ahead of Simonazzi, Zuniga, Antonelli, car 99, position 9. This is the young Italian's first ever car race. As we go further back in the pack, Patrese still driving incredibly defensive. Brasky and Lorenzo Patrese go side by side as they race up the hill. Konrad Lausen is just behind, then as Wisniewski. Bensverlin has to get on the brake sideways on the exit from Lorenzo Patrese. He's finally had to concede the place to the other Italian, Francesco Braschi, for Jensen Motorsport. Patrese fights back. This is the best we've seen the second generation racer Italian try for some time. Some aggression from young Lorenzo. Braschi, though, is simply not interested. He drives the 28 Jensen Motorsport car inside the top 10. Konrad Lausen still sits just behind the Dane, trying to get both of the Italians just in front of him. Off screen, I can tell you Nikita Bedrin has moved down into pit lane once again. An inherited race victory in race 3 on the 3rd weekend of July at Imola. It looks as though race 1 is over for the young Russian. Running very wide is Patrese. Look at this, count the cars on your screen. 8 minutes remaining, 9 in that one shot. As Wisniewski goes wide. Santiago Ramos side by side with the Hungarian Bensverlin, Konrad Lausen. Now he tries the outside of Lorenzo Patrese. This is hectic here in race 1, the Italian F4 Championship. Powered by Abarth, presented by WSK Promotion here at the fabulous Red Bull Ring here in Austria. Bierman half a second. Tim Trumnitz is behind and catching the Englishman. Patrese going defensive as Lausen locks the brakes. Just behind Levente Ravesh wants a piece of this as well, as does Kasper Stuka, Meyerweg, Samir Ben. Like a school of startled fish, they race down the straight, they dart left and right. Leonardo Fornaroli on the outside of Josh Dufek. The Austrian Swiss driver closes the door on the Italian, who is still just second in the championship. Fabulous racing here in race 1, here in Austria. Bierman, the gap is just 0.5 of a second. Back to Tim Trumnitz on your screen. Smull has lost time to Montoya. The pole sitter back in 3rd place. As Fornaroli still tries to get every possible point in position to try and keep his championship hopes alive. looks as though he will emulate his countryman Francesco Pinzi, who finished second in the 2020 championship, to Il Siciliano Gabriele Meni in 2020. Meni took the title for the Prema Power team. It looks as though Bierman will do it in 2021, barring a disaster. Look at the two teams of motorsport team drivers go side by side. Oh, wow. Santiago Ramos into the gravel. Samir Ben, the Swiss driver for the Swiss team, pushes the Mexican off the track. It is brutal. And this, the world's most competitive junior motor racing series, is now Small climbs back into contention for a podium. This happened just a few moments ago, and this is the reason why Small caught up to both Tramnitz and Montoya. Tried to make a move, did Montoya. Both Sebastian and Tim running off the circuit. Kirill drags himself into this battle for the final step of the podium. The two Prema Power team drivers on your screen, third and fourth. US Racing in second with Tim Tramnitz. And Ollie Bierman, the championship leader, the race leader in the dying stages of race one here in Austria, of course, for Fun Sport Racing. We start lap 16 here in Austria. It is Bierman from Tramnitz, Montoya. Kirill Small will get the toe from the pole sitter from his teammate as they run up the hill. The gap from Bierman back to Tramnitz with that aborted move just a few moments ago. It has cost the German almost any chance of taking victory here this morning. 1.2 seconds between the Englishman and the German as Bierman turns in a slight correction. Tramnitz just kisses the ripple strip to the left side of the car. Montoya, Small in the background, Josh Duvek and Fornaroli continue their battle. They are chasing, and they are actually catching the four drivers in front of them. Antonelli, look at that, he's the top rookie. This is the first ever car race for the young Italian, the Mercedes protege, who will line up on the Formula One grid in the year 2020. Make your own guess. I'm saying it's 2026. Regardless, he's driving superbly here this morning for the Prema Power team, car 99 in position 9. And he's the top rookie in this world-class field of junior racing drivers. Of course, 1 week ago, he took pole position for the KZ World Kart Racing Championships for the Kart Republic team. Yes, he has been testing in F4, as so many of these young drivers do. But still, it is no mean feat to be inside the top 10. Good debut in this, the world's most competitive junior racing series. 2022, we will see an all-new car, an all-new generation chassis. Wow. News at the bottom of your screen, car 6. Who's that? It's Montoya. Under investigation, so it's gone from bad to worse for the pole sitter, who's back into third, under attack from Small, his teammate. And not only that, he's under investigation. Josh Duvek, he is catching the Russian ahead as Small dives down the inside. He's too far back. 2 minutes 42 plus 1 lap left on the clock. Still 1.1 seconds between Bierman and Tramnitz, and in this battle for the final step of the podium. We have just been told by race control, Montoya is under investigation as Fornaroli, not for the first time in this race, runs off the circuit in the 72 Iron Lynx car, which, as we were saying just a moment ago, will be replaced in 2022. With an all-new chassis, yes, it will feature a halo, yes, it will be, unfortunately, about 15 kilos heavier. We don't need that. But nevertheless, it is a fabulous looking car. And the away confirmation of the 2022 calendar as well. This is where it's at. Sure, we're in Austria, but it is the Italian Championship, which since 2014 has been, with all due respect, the most competitive 15 or 16 junior motor racing series for Formula 4 in the world. Next year, a new series starting down in South America. Vinca, putting the Brazilian F4 Championship on track. They'll use identical equipment to the Italian Championship as well. There's Eric Zuniga having a good run. Antonelli right behind in car 99. Francesco Simonazzi just a week ago made his debut at Imola in Formula 3. For BVM Racing at the moment, car 84. Frank Simon is in position 7. Eric Zuniga going side by side. Oh, it's almost a big moment there. Take a look at this. Down into the Jochenring curves. Did they touch? Yes. In fact, that was Jonas Reed, apologies, further back in the pack, who's trying to fight his way back through the field after a disastrous run in qualifying. And also in this opening race, he was hit on the first corner. Expect this to be the penultimate lap of the race. Bierman, the gap has come down to 0.8 of a second. It's not over yet. It has soared between 0.4 and 1.2 seconds. Josh Dufek has driven superbly. He's in position 5 and he's catching up to the back of Kirill Small. It looks as though Small will miss the podium. We've got another replay coming up. This is Ollie Bierman through Lauda Curve 1. Trumnitz sideways ever so slightly on the exit. There's Montoya going through fantastic pitches. Sideways, Kirill Small says dashed out. How would you do it? There's Josh Dufek. Fantastic images of the front 5 going through turn 1. Van Amersfoort Racing. Positions 1 and 5. Bremer Power Team in 3 and 4. US Racing. Back with us for 5 of the 7 rounds of the 2021 Championship. Tim Trumnitz has thrown everything at the English driver, but can't quite do it. He's 0.9 of a second back. Ollie Bierman won't make a mistake, you would not think, as they come around this time to get what we believe will be the last lap, or 30 minutes plus 1 lap. And they start lap 19 here at the Red Bull Ring. One final crack for the German, Tim Trumnitz. 0.8 of a second. This Kirill Small has to now defend. 4th place from Josh Dufek. He has dragged himself into the gap, or into the battle for the leaders. He was a long way back. Fornadoli, despite running off the circuit twice, has gone with young Josh. Kirill Small was looking at a podium. He's now in position for it, maybe 5. If Dufek has his say, the final lap, race 1. Bierman, the championship leader, can almost put the championship, the title, out of reach this weekend. Not quite mathematically, but he's damn close to it. Down into the Roush curve as he races down the hill for the final time. Small under attack from Josh Dufek on the final lap. There's Fornaroli, 6th on the road, 2nd in the championship for Team Iron Lynx. Has driven the wheels off car 72, but will come up short. Still Antonelli, as you can see. Position 9, the top rookie, ahead of Brusky and Petrese. Down into the Jochenring curves for the final time. It has been a brilliant drive. He started on the outside of the front row. He went through into position 1 on lap 1. The championship leader, Ollie Bierman for Van Amersfoort Racing, wins race 1 of the Italian F4 Championship here at the Red Bull Ring here in Austria. Trumnitz across the line in 2nd, and Sebastian Montoya takes 3rd on the podium here this morning. Fantastic comeback for Kirill Small. Kirusha in P4. Josh Dufek, the Austrian Swiss driver, in position 5. Fornaroli, Simonazzi, Zuniga, Antonelli, and Francesco Braschi round out the 10. The Bremer Power Team, no answer to both US Racing and Van Amersfoort Racing here this morning. Angelo Rossi, and it's a busy weekend for the team from Vicenza, of course, racing in the Formula 2 Championship at Monza. Also this weekend, Sebastian from pole position will be disappointed with 3rd place. despite a great race, he had no answer for the English driver, who again extends his lead in the 2021 Formula 4 Championship. Biermann takes the victory from Team Trumpnitz, Montoya third, Small 4, Josh Dufek 5 from Fornaroli, Simonazzi. So Leonardo and Francesco, they're the top Italians in 6 and 7. The Mexican, Eric Zuniga, that was the first ever car race for Kimi Andrea Antonelli in P9. He's the top rookie ahead of his countrymen, plural countrymen, Braski and Patrese. Piotr Wisnicki in P12. Konrad Larsen, Samir Ben, Ben Svelin, Santiago Ramos, Maya Werg ahead of Kasper Stuka, Hamda Alkubasi and San Yuhan rounds out the 20. A quiet race for the Austrian Charlie Wirtz, Aaron Retshepi, Levente Reves, Giorgio Maccogiannis, Pietro Armani. As we turn the page, Jonas Reed, an eventful run for the German, who was hit on the first corner, finishes in 26 ahead of Jorge Garciace. Bedrin, a DNF here this morning, as was Josh Dirksen. Pedro Perino, the Mozambican driver, first time out with US Racing, ends in a DNF. We'll see him back for race 2 tomorrow. And of course, Bizzotto and Baptiste were out on the opening lap of the race. Ollie Biermann, another victory. We've lost count. I have to confess. I think it's something like 9 in a row if we discount race 3 at Imola. We'll see if Antonio can think of a question that he has not asked. Ollie Biermann down in Parc Ferme at the end of the race. I think that is 9 in a row. That is incredible. It is a record. Ollie Biermann, comfortably the championship leader for 2021. Start writing his name. Get out the engraver. Put it on the trophy now. Barring a disaster, he will be the 2021 championship. Yes, I'm aware we have still got 2 rounds to go after this at Mugello and then at Monza in October. Montoya in P3. Tim Trumpnitz in second place is the German. Let's go down once again to Ollie Biermann.
Love to take the challenge to make strange questions, but we'll go with some normal ones. So look like the summer break didn't affect your potential. Very well done, an amazing race.
Yeah, it was a really good race. Obviously starting P2, we knew we had it all to do. And the best chances at the start, I managed to get him off the start, and then, yeah, made a clean restart off the safety car, and that was the race, really.
So now time to celebrate.
Yeah, I guess, but we still got work to do tomorrow, so yeah, it looks like a long weekend ahead. We've got some bad starting positions, so need to capitalise and get as many points as we can.
Very well, congratulations.
The highlights of race 1 here in Austria. Montoya started from pole. He got a perfect launch as Tim Trumpnitz and the ultimate race winner, Ollie Biermann, went side by side down into turn 1. Kirill Small in the background had a good run, did the Russian. He was 5th, then moved into 4th place, which is ultimately where he would finish. Not the best start for Leonardo Bizzotto. And Nico Baptiste, he ended his race in the gravel. That brought out the safety car. Pedro Perino, the Mozambican driver for US Racing, furious as he was turned around at turn 1. At the restart, Ollie Biermann would not relinquish his race lead. An elastic gap between 0.4 of a second and 1.2 seconds. Trumpnitz threw everything at the English driver, the championship leader, but had no response for Ollie Biermann, who would go on to take 9 race wins in a row. Montoya, he had to try, he did. Up the hill, but it did not work as Trumpnitz would come up 1 short. Ollie Biermann again takes the checkered flag. Trumpnitz in second, and Sebastian Montoya third on the podium here this morning.
Ready for the Roskilde first race of the Italian F4 Championship. In third place, Sebastian Montoya.
Sebastian in third after starting from pole position.
The winning driver in the first race, Oliver Biermann. And the winning team,
Tim in second. And again, Ollie on the top step of the podium.
Up to the top step, and now in honor of our winning driver, of Oliver Behrman, British national anthem.
Well, there's something you don't see every day here at the Red Bull Ring. No problem for Sebastian. Thanks for your company. Ollie Behrman has taken another victory here in the Italian F4 Championship. We'll see you for race 2 at 11:20 tomorrow morning here from the Red Bull Ring in Austria. From here, the rolling countryside of Styria. Auf Wiedersehen.
Prende a ridere, cazzo. Che carino.